known as the most flexible person in the world, and I get asked all the time about how to do the moves that I perform. And in my course, I break this down from the core poses and the core movements so that you can learn how to do the moves I perform. If you want to join my course, then head over to the memberships option on my YouTube channel. But today, in this video, I'm going to break down one of my routines and show you how you can learn flexibility at home. So the other days, I've been filming these kind of videos, doing some flexibility stuff here and there. And here, over here in the gymnastics gym, I did this little flow over here. And today I'm going to break down how I did this first movement right over here, this helicopter into the split. I'm going to break this down from the warm-up all the way to some techniques to then get into the helicopter into split. All right guys, so we're going to break down how I did this helicopter twist into the splits and how you guys can learn it at home. So first of all, let's break down what is this movement. Well, it's kind of a mix between a back limber, which looks like this. That's a back limber, and then a helicopter, which looks like this. Boom, and then a split, just like so. And guys, it's actually quite confusing because there's a lot of different variations of the helicopter. And so the helicopter I just did here, that's the helicopter we're gonna need. We don't need the one that goes like this. That's not the one we need. We need the helicopter that I showed you here. But now, let's break down the warm-ups for what do we need to warm up to be able to do these movements. Well, if we're gonna go for the splits, we need to warm up our legs. So let's start off with warming up our legs for the splits. What do we need to warm up for the splits? Well, we have our hamstrings, our calves, our quads, our hips, and we have our hip flexors. So let's get into some exercises to warm these areas up. Come with me, come down here. We're gonna come into a squat. Now, in this squat, I want you guys to just walk around in this squat. Do some duck walks over here, and this is going to help open up your hips. You don't need to be feeling any deep stretches in here or any pain. I want you guys to enjoy just walking around in a squat, seeing the world from a different perspective down here. You know, we get to see from this level and just walk around and move and gently open up our hips. From here, I want you guys to swivel over to a downward dog. I want you guys to make sure that you spend as much time as you need in each of these exercises. So when you're ready, come over to this downward dog. What you're gonna do is you're gonna plant your heels on the ground and you're gonna push your shoulders towards your legs, so just like so. You see here? Kind of planting my palms in the ground and I'm pushing my shoulders towards my legs. Taking in some deep breaths. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend one leg, one knee over here, and then straighten it and bend the other knee towards my opposite elbow. So that's right knee towards the left elbow and left knee towards the right elbow. And we're just gonna breathe through this stretch. Now, what is this stretch doing exactly? Well, this stretch is opening up our calves and our hamstrings as well. It's just getting them gently warmed up for the next steps that we're gonna be going through. From here, walk your feet slightly closer to your hands. And from here, you can go up onto your fingertips. And what I want you to do is I want you to straighten out your back fully and bend from your hips. So if that means that you need to go up higher like so, then don't worry about it, come up higher, straighten out your back, and then bend from your hips as far as you can, making sure that that back is straight and you're bending from those hips and your legs are straight as well. Now, the reason I keep saying that you need to have a straight back is because if you were to bend your back, then you're actually stretching your back. Whereas if you straighten it, it's targeting your hamstrings directly. We need this hamstring flexibility for the splits. So do as I say over here, we're gonna have that straight back and then take in a deep breath. And then a deep breath out through your mouth. And come lower into this hanging pike stretch. Now, right now I have my hands on the ground, and you can keep your hands on the ground if that's comfortable for you. But if you're ready, then you can take your hands off the ground and try just hanging in this pike stretch, like so. And here you can see what I'm doing here is I'm just twisting from side to side. And the reason I'm doing this is to open up all the different parts of my hamstring, moving from side to side to try and open up my hamstrings fully. You can do this with your hands on the ground if you want a little bit more support, or you can just hang on down like I'm doing right now. Just make sure you're comfortable, make sure you're not feeling any pain. You just want to make sure that you're listening to your body, or be very relaxed and gentle when you're doing these stretches. And you're gonna notice the longer you're in here and you're just focusing on your breath, or just staying relaxed, you're gonna get deeper and deeper and deeper. All right, so that's our hamstrings we've just dealt with. So now we're gonna move on to our hips. We're gonna plant one leg forwards, one leg backwards. And then we're gonna push our hips down towards the ground, like so, and take our hands off the ground. Also wrestle with our hair whilst we're on our way up. Here we are in the lunge, and we have our front knee. I want you guys to pay attention to the form here. We've got our front knee above our ankle. You don't want it in front of your ankle or behind your ankle. You want to keep it above your ankle so that we can target our hips to be opened. And then also another thing is, with your hips, you want to keep them square. So that means keeping them in a straight line, pointing forwards. Them square, and then go down as deep as you can into this lunge. My back leg is on the ground, my knee is on the ground. And then if you want a slightly deeper stretch, slightly bend your back like so. Then you're getting a deeper stretch in your hip flexor and your back as well. This is targeting our hips and our hip flexors to open those up. I want you guys to just breathe whilst you're in this stretch. Need support, you can put your hands on the ground next to you. You can actually grab some pillows or yoga blocks and hold them on either side of you if that helps you out. Now we're going to elevate this stretch by opening our quad. Bending our back leg like so. I'm going to grab it with this hand, and we're just going to bring that in towards us. And just breathe gently and stay relaxed whilst in this stretch. This is opening up our quad, which is a very big muscle on the front of our legs, and it's vital for front splits. Now we're going to straighten out our front leg, like so, and our back leg. So our feet aren't actually moving, our knee is staying in place. We're just straightening out that front leg like so. And now we're in another hamstring stretch. This hamstring stretch also opens up your calf if you flex your foot like so. And this is going to help open up that hamstring. Straighten out your front leg. You're going to keep your hips square as well. You're just going to come down as far as you can into the stretch whilst keeping your back straight and bending from your hips. Slowly breathe through this exercise. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine the last two exercises. So we're gonna go, and we're gonna go into that lunge. We're back in this lunge. Lunge action is back. And we're gonna go into this lunge. Then we're gonna go back to the hamstring stretch. And we're just going to go forwards into the lunge, backwards into the hamstring stretch. And we're just gonna do some of these movements. And this is really just mobilizing your muscles that we've just opened up in your legs. So this is using your hips, this is using your hamstrings, your calves, and your quads. This is gonna help your legs get ready for the split that we're gonna do in this helicopter split. Just stretched our legs, ready for the split. Make sure you do these same stretches on your other leg as well, so that you can do the helicopter into the splits on both legs. Now, we have warmed up to get our splits. Boom! Okay, that is one step that we need to then do this helicopter into the splits. Now, what are we going to do next? Helicopter into the splits, we need our back limber and we need the helicopter. Now these, actually we need similar parts of our body open for these. We need our legs open, but we've already worked on our legs. And we're gonna need our back open, our spine, and we're gonna need our shoulders open. So let's get working onto the spine right now. I'm gonna bring you guys up here, stand up here, and I want you guys to slowly bend from your neck all the way to the ground. So we're gonna go slowly bend, slowly vertebrae by vertebrae, you're gonna hang and slowly come down to the ground all the way. You can bend your legs here so you're not getting so much of a hamstring stretch, like so. Slowly, slowly, hanging all the way down to the ground. You want this to be a very slow process so that you can really feel your back opening up. You want to be gentle with your spine. Your spine is a very important part of your body. It's part of the central nervous system, so of course you want to be gentle with it. You want to be loving with each and every movement we do with our spine. Now we're coming back up. We're reversing that bend we did forwards. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling up our spine. Rolling up, taking in deep breaths. And then we're gonna roll up our shoulders and then our neck. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna do that again to keep on opening up our spine. So do this as many times as it takes for your spine to be comfortable. You wanna be comfortable throughout this whole stretch. Gonna go all the way down to hanging at the bottom here, where we're bending from our tailbone all the way at the bottom of our spine. And we're gonna reverse this spinal movement and come back up. Now guys, really take your time with this movement. This is getting your spine moving. We're getting into some spinal flows. This is gonna help warm up your spine to then get ready to be a bit more flexy with the next movements. Alrighty guys, so we have just gone and we've warmed up our spine a little bit with some spinal flows. And now what I want you guys to do is we're coming down onto our knees like I'm doing right now. And we're just gonna gently twist our spine from one side to the other side. Now, this might not feel like you're doing so much when you initially start it, but this is really just being gentle with your spine and getting your spine moving. And then after this, your spine's gonna open up. It's gonna be like, you know what? I like this movement business. Let's go a little bit further. And then we're gonna go into some of the deeper stretches. And when we're in the back bend, it's gonna feel a lot more comfortable after we do these warm-ups. So keep on twisting from one side to the other side. All right, now come with me. We're gonna come onto our fronts and get into some more spinal bending action. So we're here on our fronts and I want you guys to push up onto your shoulders like so and just gently move your shoulders from side to side. This is now opening up your upper back. Your shoulders from side to side. Keep on breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. We're in a Sphinx position right now. You know, kind of look like a Sphinx in front of the pyramids in Egypt. You know, this is the Sphinx right here. When you're ready, guys, come up and put your hands either side of your body like so. We're gonna push up to the midsection. So we're not pushing up as far as we can go yet. We're sort of pushing up to the point where we're bending from this middle part of our back, like so. And I want you guys to do the same thing. We're gonna twist from side to side here. Keep staying relaxed. You don't want to be pushing through any pain. So guys, if you feel any pain at any points, stop, because that's not the goal. We're not trying to feel pain here. You want to stay relaxed. So here we are, moving from side to side in the middle of our spines. Now, when you're ready, you can push up even further, all the way to your tailbone, as far as you can into this bend. I'm bending from my tailbone, the lowest part of my spine, I'm bending from right now. And I'm just gonna twist from side to side here. Staying relaxed in my body. Keep staying relaxed whilst in the stretch, and also make sure to take your time. So listen to your body, and when you're ready, then go further into the bend. Only when your body is ready. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend my spine the other way actually. I'm actually gonna come out of this seal position and I'm gonna come to a child's pose. And I'm coming here to balance off my spine because we've been doing a lot of back bending recently with these stretches. So now it's time to balance it off the other way. So I'm coming to a child's pose and I'm just gently rolling up my spine. and then I'm gonna come back to the child's pose. And once again, guys, take your time here. Like, you can really feel this stretch balancing off your spine exactly the same way that you bent it backwards, you can feel it bending forwards. So really enjoy your time in this stretch. Now we're gonna come to this child's pose one more time, but we're not gonna roll up our spine. We're gonna come all the way down in this child's pose, and I want you guys to plant your palms in the ground in front of you like so, and sort of drag on your palms, keeping them in the same place, feeling your shoulders open up. So you kind of want to push your shoulders towards the ground and open up your shoulders over here in this child's pose. Alrighty, now we are very, very close to being able to do this helicopter into the split. There's just one last thing we're gonna do, which is come to a plank. And we are gonna come into this plank and then remember how hard it is to hold a plank. So we're gonna try and get this exercise done with. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do some scapular push-ups, which is where we're gonna push through our shoulders like so, and then you're gonna go all the way down through your shoulders, and then push up through your shoulders, and then back down through your shoulders. Up and down, up and down. Whilst you do this, make sure to have your core engaged, keep your body in a straight line, and we're gonna push through our scapula. So you can see here, this is me moving my scapula, like so. Right, so now we have done all our warm-up to be able to do this move. Let's break this down into the 3 moves. So we are gonna do the back limber, which looks like this. One more time. Boom. It's basically like a back walkover, but you kick off with both of your legs and you land on both of your legs. So now let's break down how we're gonna do this. We're gonna come into a back bend, like so. And now what I recommend you do in a back bend is you just sort of play around with your body weight, see how much you can move in the back bend, see how much you can lean, and just see how it feels to hold your body weight upside down in this back bend. And once you get comfortable with holding yourself in a back bend and just moving around freely in the back bend, then it makes it much easier to do things whilst upside down. So from here, you can then see, okay, I can see how I can hold my balance when it has to go for the back limber. Now, let's get into this back limber. What we do in the back limber is we go backwards into that back bend, and then we hop off of both legs over our head. We do to do this, let me break this down. We're gonna go back bend, and now from here, I want you to use this momentum, like so. And I want you guys to kick off your legs. So you're gonna kick off of them at the same time. So you're gonna go forwards and backwards. Boom. Just like that. The most important part of doing this movement is the momentum. So you're gonna get momentum from when you're falling backwards into the back bend and from that movement you do with your arms. So you want to kind of combine that together and then kick up over yourself into the back limber. So another thing is, when you're kicking over, you want to kick from your toes. See this? You see this? Like this? You want to kick off of your toes like so when you're in the back bend, paired with that momentum that we create from going into the back bend and moving our arms. So let's put that together. So we're going to go backwards, lean forwards, and kick off our toes, like so. And you want to keep on practicing this movement, keep on practicing the tips I've said, and then perfect your back limber. And then let's get into this next part, which is the helicopter part. Helicopter, what you do is you do the same thing as the back limber, but right before you're gonna land on the ground, you'll switch it up. We're gonna twist our hips so that they end off in this position. So here, this isn't a regular back bend, this would be a regular back bend, but I've taken that arm off and twisted my body. And this is basically how you land. You want to get used to holding this position so that you're ready for landing like this. Let's try and get into this helicopter. So you want to do that back limber and then twist. You need to get used to that twisty back bend, practice that twisty back bend, and then also practice the back limber. and then you can try and do it in slow motion like so. You see where it's not quite the snap at the land, but you can still kind of slow it down so that your body kind of knows what it's getting itself into, and then you can get used to doing the helicopter. So keep on practicing these things that I've said here to do the helicopter. And then the last part that we need is the split, which we can already do the split. We warmed up our split. So now let's just combine those two together. Now, what we're gonna do here is when you do that helicopter, you're gonna just do the same thing, but with your legs straight. And you're gonna aim to land like how you would into a split like this. So practice dropping down into a split, like so. Then you can also practice dropping down into split from here, from that twisty back bend. And then you can try and do it from slow motion from the back limber. So, like this. Boom. Let me do that from the other angle too. So we slow it down a lot here, but you're going to get your brain used to where you need to put your legs so that you can speed it up, and then you can end up with this. Boom! Helicopter into split. Okay guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will be helicopter splitting everywhere from now on. So I hope you guys have learned something from this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to learn more in-depth flexibility, then head over to my course, which is in the subscription options. And over there, I break things down from the core poses and the core movements so that you guys can learn all about flexibility.